Hello, welcome to Animal Audit Corner. This channel is about all the former Scientologists and all of their advocates with the stories about not only them, but about the cult that they were once in, which is Scientology. We are going to have a look into their lives and find out about their world. Here is their story. This church of Scientology is known for their odds with everyone else they meet. And this is every day. Even in its infancy, when the internet came around into the world with all the good information. But David Miscavige presents this for the worse when he is the most corrupt intentions. The world would never be the same when Miscavige is outside of a prison cell. There is no justice with David Miscavige because guess what? He is running around loose where he should be in a prison cell. David Miscavige, not the protesters and not the Scientologists who are in and is struggling to get out. Miscavige. And also, since Tom Cruise is keeping slave labor, then he should be in jail and pay all the money that he owns to the former Scientologists or the ones who are in there. That organization had a secret love affair with the internet. It is so dreadful. I'm not even kidding. According to Nora Ames, when the internet was in its infancy, Scientology would post on an ad with online internet forums, which back then that's what they used. Because, like she said, back, during its late infancies, we used to use all the telephone connections to get online. So she's right about that. Around 1984, they would send an email to all their members to post an outstanding message on Scientology in order to recruit more members into the organization. That's a cult, and it's not a religion, it's a cult. Now, picture 40 to 50 Scientologists having all these different posts on their site. Then at the same time, that organization during the digital millennium, Copyright Act, with the Copyright Act in the United States, the copyright owner has the right to have their materials taken down. Meaning, if there's any of L. Ron Hubbard's literature online, then Scientology would have the right to take that down legally. Not only they have legal practices, illegal practices, but they also use the law for legal purposes as well. So they can just pass themselves as a legitimate group, which in fact they're not. The DMC is best known throughout the entire entertainment industry, which had the power to remove any copyrighted taken off the internet if they feel like they're violating their rights. That allows Scientology to take down the former members who posted the organization's scripture on the internet. Yeah, that's right. Organization, not religion, like they're claiming they are. They are not a religion, they are a cult. This site had not brought in secret Scientology records, but there was criticism throughout the organization. Scientology accomplished what they set out to do. They had succeeded in getting the DMCA deal with Google to remove a site from their search engine. After that organization got Google to take down their ads, and if they didn't like what they said, they would have them completely wipe out any site from their search engine. And this is with the former Scientologists. It happened to me. So I'll get back to that as soon as this story is over. Google would abide by the whole thing, which had spared so much, which really sparked so much criticism with the outside world that Scientology is living under. So their lawyers succeeded in taking down whatever Scientology wants. Scientology receives backlash about the whole entire issue when Google founder Sergey Brin, I think that's his name. Okay. Hope I said it right. Then he had a letter which says that they had come up with an agreement. They had took out the whole bulletin, but replaced the link, would send their link to a different site. Does this really make it right? No, it doesn't. Scientology also has a history of hiring private investigators to hack into computers belonging to journalists and former members of theirs. They even engage in other digital activities that are illegal. The organization would even use their fame game practice on the internet as well. And of course, that's happening to me right now. And at the same time, it doesn't look like it's happening, but is it? I'll talk about it, like I said, when this story is over. Same, use the same tactics as usual, such as the harassment and intimidation. Only it is done on the internet. Then they would use legal activity to silence all their critics that are online. Now, is it the blackmail? Yeah. And it's usually money. That's how they get them to take it out down or make a deal to see their families, which it happened when somebody who had their own show take down their whole posting just so they can see their family. But don't get me wrong. Once Scientology backs out of the whole thing, they, I bet you, will go back on. Former members and critics came out in droves and said Scientology went after everybody on the internet. Then Scientology had manipulated all the search results with posts that would increase all of their organization's rankings. Meaning they would they would just make it go up magically. Meaning, yes, they cheat. That's something. And reduces all the sites that are critical to that organization by marking it invisible, and makes sure everyone sees it. And I'll tell you about that after I'm done with this story. I don't want to give too much away. Then that cult would get aggressive by forcing all their internet providers to remove all the contents from the search engines. And around 2002, the internet activities that have taken down all the anti-Scientology sites that had Operation Clambait on it taken down. Then on the way back machine, all the Scientology authorities by the Scientology's attorneys by making claims behind the scenes, but later it was proven that those claims were false. Yeah, that's right. They lie, and they do it all the time. Then, nevertheless, some of the law enforcement won't do anything about it because they're either are being biased, and overall, the Church of Scientology is known for being in odds with everyone they meet, unless they are notable in public scenes. Meaning if they're celebrities, if they're wealthy, then yes, they would treat them differently. Is it for their money? I bet you it is. That organization had a secret love affair with the internet. That is just so dreadful. Now, at the end, picture 4 to 50 Scientologists having all the posts on one site that allows Scientology to track down their former members who posted their organization's scripture on the internet. Where all in all, Google would abide by the whole thing, which had sparked so much criticism. If it's against the law, with some of the things they're doing, they had the legal right to ask them to take it down. Where that cult would get aggressive by forcing all the internet providers to remove all the contents from the search engine. Then, in conclusion, they are going to continue to do that until law enforcement puts down their foot with Scientology. Okay. Now, guess what? I had to do this video all over again because they did. They removed the same video that I'm doing right here right now with you. They have took it down. Just like they took down the one with Aaron's interview with Sam and Melissa. Only this time, guess what? I had his footage telling about a Scientology agent hacking into not only the members' site, but the neighbors. And they did not expect it. Because guess what? The numbers that were on Aaron's interview with Sam and Melissa, I had it at 33 views. It's unbelievable. I am trying to get it back. In the meantime, I have the other story about it. And as soon as I get it back, I'll use that one and delete the other. It is just so awful. And then they continue to do this. And I think they might have did it to my phone too. Do I have any proof that they did it? No, not really. That one I have no proof. But otherwise, they do. They hack into my computer a lot. They did it the first time back in March when they deleted when they hacked into my computer and deleted. And of course, this was during Easter. So it was on April. It was just so horrible. Took it to my brother. Well, he worked on only one of them. He told me to keep it open and then I can work on it at home. But it never happened. And it's something. And then I'm thinking, you know what? I have contents in here that I need. So I call a technician for Hewlett Packard in Canada, and he removed he fixed it, so he told me that this will never happen again. So I went back in, new password, and he said he'll make sure it'll never happen again. And then when I went to all my clips, the clips were just gone. Each and every piece I did on Scientology were gone. So that's proof right there that they hacked into my computer, which is not right. Now, that's called computer hacking. It's against the law. But guess what? Law enforcement won't do anything. The FBI won't do anything. Should I try to take it there? Yeah, but something tells me they're not going to do anything because either there's no proof or they know they did it and won't do anything. It is just the most outrageous thing that it can happen. Now, could it be that they're hacking into my internet again? I think so, because yesterday I got back from seeing my family, and when I hopped back on the next day, it was gone. Now, I managed to recover it. Now, did they mess with it? Maybe. Maybe, maybe not. But I did get it back. So I did a search on it and got it back. And the things they do. Now, this time around, I couldn't find a clip of Aaron and the Scientology agent that he explained about that I showed for about anywhere between 30 to 50 seconds. I couldn't find it. So that did it. So since I was already late getting on, I decided, you know what? This time I'll just forget about it. So that is my story about what went on with Scientology's fair game practice that they used on me. Now, when I mentioned Cheryl got ran over by a car, when Aaron mentioned it, it was her life. But however, I haven't experienced that yet. Am I? I don't know. Maybe I'll have luck on my side. Maybe it won't happen. But guess what? A person's life is precious. Now, the Chromebook that I have is just a material item. It doesn't replace another person's life. Of course, she's got material items too, and it's not going to replace her life. But then, all in all, We know Scientology uses tactics like that. They even did the same thing to Chris. They ran him over. They tried to run him over the car. They paid a street person to beat him up and winded up with staples in his head and stitches. And they also did it again. The Scientologists did it again by getting a big guy to beat him up. And they said they're the most ethical person in the world. No, they're not. Because threatening people with their lives and threatening them with bodily harm are not the most ethical people on earth. No way. But then overall, at the end, they're going to still use the same tactics that L. Ron Hubbard wants them to use, even with the changes in the internet. He wants them to hurt people. He wants them to hurt animals. Both people's lives and animal lives are so precious. Of course, an animal would need a person, but a person, if they're going to mistreat an animal, then they shouldn't have one, just like they shouldn't even be having children. L. Ron Hubbard never should have had kids, even though they came out and having a better life. And that's what they're doing. But Diane Hilbert, she's still in there. And finally, the parents in Scientology put their kids at risk by having them pulled out of school, which they should be in. They should be in school where they belong. And put them to work, even under dangerous conditions. And that is a worse thing. I mean, a child can easily get injured, lose an arm or leg, and possibly lose their life, like Stacy Moxon did when she committed suicide. Now, her family and also told everybody, even David Miscavige, that she was trying to help a squirrel out of the vault. That's not what happened. She got herself electrocuted because she was distraught about not seeing her husband. And then in conclusion, her life was over. And a material item is just a material item. It cannot replace a life. Well, that should do it for today. Now, buy me a coffee, but if you can't afford it, then you won't have to pay. Period. And guess what? You can still watch my content. No strings attached. I'm not Scientology. I'm not going to make you give me your money. I'm not going to do that. If you can afford it, go right ahead. If you can't, then that's okay too. You can still watch my content. And hit the like, press subscribe, and I'll see you again tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then the next day.